Hi PSA members, in this fortnight's President's Message, I wanted to highlight two key reports. The first one is that many of you would have heard that last week, our Federal Health Minister, Mark Butler, has released the Unleashing our Full Potential of our Health Workforce, or otherwise known as the Scope of Practice Review Report. Now, all of you who've been following my updates would know that this has been a very long 12-month journey, and PSA has absolutely invested in this process all the way from the very start till the very end. And you may even recall me mentioning at the very start that on behalf of the profession I represent, pharmacy and pharmacists on the Scope of Practice Review Expert Advisory Committee, in addition to PSA being actively engaged throughout all phases of the review process to help shape that final report. And if you have had a chance to look at the report, you would know that there are 18 key recommendations from this independent report chaired by Professor Mark Cormack and supported by key leaders like Professor Lisa Nissen as the academic lead and also KPMG. Now, out of those 18 recommendations, it can be broken down or categorized, I should say, into three big categories. One focuses on legislation, second focuses on workforce design and development, and the third on funding and remuneration policy. Now, we are very happy with the final report and agree very much so with all of the 18 recommendations. And at this point in time, we are urging the government to rapidly take up and implement all of these 18 recommendations, because we strongly believe that when these 18 recommendations are implemented, it can really remove the red tapes that are impeding our practice as pharmacists to really allow our skills, our capability to be fully utilized to serve the health needs of Australians moving forward. Now, members would also recall that back in August, we launched our PSA's Pharmacists in 2030 document, which is a roadmap into our practice into 2030. And there is absolutely 120% alignment between our Pharmacists in 2030 report and recommendations and the Scope of Practice Review report. So I just want members to know that this has been a process that we have heavily invested since the very beginning, and we're absolutely not slowing down, and we're absolutely seeing the opportunity here. And the report is promising in terms of its recommendations. So we're absolutely continuing on our call and our advocacy efforts to help make sure that this can be implemented. Now, secondly, I also wanted to say that today, we at the PSA has released a PSA impact report to accompany our annual report. Now, in the impact report, we serve to highlight what PSA has done in financial year end 24. Over a 12-month period, PSA was involved in over 40 innovative projects supporting this work, and in partnership with stakeholders including the government, the PHNs, universities, and other key stakeholder groups, to put innovative ideas into practice. And more importantly, these projects are so important because it provides the evidence that we need to help shape and improve and validate our practice. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that, there is a link in the description below, and I'll highly encourage you to have a look at the impact report. And with that, I wish you all a very good weekend almost, and keep doing the amazing work.